JP. This is my niece Paige. She's the one that went to the movie with me last night, and this is my youngest niece Jace. She wanted to say hi to everybody. You want to say hi? But she just said hi, whether she likes it or not. So thanks for joining us, guys. Stop making faces, weirdo. So you'll be all right. So let some people join in here. What's going on, Dr. S. Outcast? How you doing, brother?
I don't know what
You're from England, right? This is Adam. Adam's from England. Paige, just say hi.
Huh. Hi.
She's off camera. She'll be on camera here in a minute. I want more people to join. That's my niece.
I'm literally frozen right now.
No, you're looking at me.
No, I'm not. I'm looking at the camera.
Yeah. Your sister keeps popping in.
Stop popping in.
She's
Jace.
fine. She's fine.
Well. See, I'm frozen up.
It's gonna do that. It's called a delay. I am southwest. Southwest what, brother? I don't know what that means. You are southwest of what?
Southwest England? I'm guessing here.
Stop. Watch this. You're all right. They can still see you. Attaboy, Adam. Thank you, brother.
Oh my god, I didn't. Oh, whew.
Hey, Serge, I'm going by your real name because my niece has no idea who you are, and I ain't gonna call you Monkey. He's a good guy though. Say hi, Paige.
Hi. Monkey, really? Really?
We'll get into that here in a minute, brother. I want to wait for more people to show up. I just don't want to start talking about the movie. And so how this is going to work, guys, is try and keep it PG. No swearing, no JD stuff, no. I'm not going to swear. The worst I'll probably get is damn or poop. But that's about as bad as it's going to get because I got my nieces in here. I don't want to be a verbal, like, yeah, I don't want to be swearing. Thank you, Jace. So I'm going to try and keep it to a minimum on the swearing stuff. How was the movie? How was the movie, Paige?
It was actually really good. My favorite part actually was when Luke Skywalker literally threw the lightsaber.
We'll get into that. Where's Gator? Gator, I kicked him out. All he wants is a freaking treat. He doesn't need one.
I'm English.
We're gentlemen, no swearing. Yeah, he's from England. So.
Oh. Okay.
Well, let me see if I can get Gator in here. He won't jump up on the bed. He's being weird, Serge. Come here, Gator.
Gator! Here, I'll go get him.
You just joined. Buddy. Hey, Killdozer, what's going on, brother?
Here, buddy. Where's Gator?
It's not a big deal. Just come back in here.
Yeah. Okay. He's outside.
Get in here.
He's outside.
Dude, the girls, it's their dog, dude. To be honest with you, it's their dog.
No, mine.
It's Paige's dog, actually. But yeah, they love the dog. Sometimes they won't leave him alone and he kind of growls at him, but I think they're just trying to show him too much love. How was the movie, Killdozer? Why don't you ask the one that's going to be doing this?
It was actually really good. Again, my favorite part was the part where Luke Skywalker threw the lightsaber across his shoulder.
And like I said, we'll go into that. So I'm going to start this. I know I might as well start it now. If you have not seen the movie, this is going to be big spoilers. So,
dog as well.
Do you? I know you do. I think you said that, Serge. But he's never met you, so that's why I said
okay.
that. So the movie starts with the crawl, and the crawl is essentially telling us what happened after The Force Awakens, and it happens. The Force Awakens happens, or I'm sorry, The Last Jedi begins about 2.5 hours. Where The Last Jedi begins 2.5 hours, about 2 hours after The Force Awakens ends. But that's not how the movie starts. It doesn't start where everybody thinks it does. This is where my niece is going to come in now. And what is going on is the Resistance is chasing after, or not, excuse me, the First Order is chasing after the Resistance. So even though the First Order destroyed Starkiller Base, does not mean that the First Order, because you got to remember when they blew up the planets in The Force Awakens, the planet, the Resistance had taken a big time hit. There's only a few left, so the First Order has the Resistance on the run. This is where I'm going to bring my niece Paige in here, and she's going to tell you the story. I'm going to kind of guide her through this a little bit, and then we'll answer any questions that you guys have, okay? So I'm going to bring her in now. She's going to sit where I'm sitting. I'm going to move over, and my niece Jace is going to sit in my lap. So I'm going to turn it over to her. You're fine.
Yeah, I know.
Talk about the movie.
Okay, guys, so we're going to start off with the space battle. So Poe is trying to destroy all the cannons off of a ship.
Called the Dreadnought.
Called the Dreadnought. And what happens is Poe shoots all of everything. Leia tells him to get out. We finished our mission. Let's go. And Poe's like, no, we can still finish this. Leia's like, no, get out of there. We're done. Let's go home. And Poe mutes her off, and he finishes his job. We get back onto the cruiser, and Leia slaps him in the face, saying you're reckless and whatever. And then after when Leia's done talking with Poe, here comes BB-8 saying,
"What happened?"
Finn.
Okay, go back. What happens? Okay, you're right. Keep going. Yeah. My bad.
And BB-8's like, Finn, naked, water bag, leaking. And Poe's like, what? And here comes Finn walking out in the water bag, I don't know what to call it.
Just a bag.
In a water bag. And he's like, and Poe's like, okay, let's go get you dressed. You probably got a whole bunch of questions to ask.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop her right there. You're doing good. If y'all remember what happened at the end of The Force Awakens when Kylo Ren nailed, if you've seen Force Awakens, Kylo Ren nailed Finn in the back, and that kind of put Finn in a critical condition. So they put him in a bag, and this bag and this water thing, I can't even think of I can't remember what it's called, but it heals them. So okay, so now she's to the point where she's talking where he wakes up. And it was kind of funny at the beginning when he comes up, when he wakes up, he goes to sit up and he hits his face on the thing that's covering him. So
it's hilarious.
Okay, so go on.
And then the first question he asks is, "Where's Finn?" And
where's Rey?
Where's Rey? Ugh, sorry. And we jump right into the island where we ended off on the Force Awakens. And
this is your favorite part of the movie. Right here.
And here comes, and she gives the lightsaber to Luke. Luke grabs it.
We're good, Heather. How are you doing? Hey, Heather, if you could do me a solid, I already talked to the guys, and I know you're good at this. Try and keep the swearing to a minimum if you could. I'd greatly appreciate it. And let me introduce you. This is Paige. This is Jace, and I'm JP. I'm sitting off to the side.
And anyway, we're back. I lost my place. We're back to the island, whatever, where we ended off at Force Awakens, and Luke has the lightsaber in his hand. And what I think it is, the reason why he threw it over his shoulder is what I think it is because he got it from Obi-Wan, and it was his father. So what I think it is, his father Obi-Wan got it from his father, and then he got it from Obi-Wan.
But that's not why. So he just looked at the lightsaber and threw it over his shoulder, over the cliff where he was standing. If you remember at the end of The Force Awakens, he's standing there and Rey's holding the lightsaber and it goes away. She walks up to him. It comes up to where she's walking up to him. He takes the lightsaber from her and he just throws it over his shoulder and walks away. He's like, meh, and then walks away. But it was funny. Go on.
And so what happened was Rey kept following him, and
thanks, Heather. I appreciate it. Keep going.
And she is like, I want something inside me is awake. It's been in me this whole time.
Keep talking.
And now it's awake in her. And Luke doesn't want to train her because he failed Kylo Ren when he was training him. So then what happened was he got over there and Rey kept following him around, whatever, watching his daily life, and she really wants to be trained. And Rey's like, I've seen your daily life, and you honestly don't do nothing. And it's just weird on the island, really. There's like weird parts on the island, which is disturbing and whatever.
The most disturbing part about being on the island is if Luke Skywalker, there's a part in the movie where he said, I came here to die. He did not want to be found like everybody thought he wanted to be found. He wanted to be left alone. There's these kind of like animals that are just like really weird, and they have. So he milks one of them and drinks the milk. It was like really weird, but I'm going to tell you what, there was this movie. She's going to tell you the same thing. To me, this movie was funny, but it was really well. Everybody's so concerned. I heard Joe. He was talking about he's really concerned about, he says Star Wars is in trouble. It's what you take from it, guys. So don't be afraid. You make your own judgment.
Sounds gross.
It was, but it was funny, actually, because he looked at Rey when he did it and said, this is my life. It was kind of funny. So I'm also going to add on here, if you guys have any questions, I will do my best to highlight them and then put them. And then when she's done with her whole question or review thing here, I'm gonna post the questions on a Google Doc, and then we'll answer your questions. Go ahead.
Okay, and then we come back to the island, whatever, and she really wants to be trained because the Force is awakened in her.
What did she say though, Paige? She said she wants to find her place in all of this. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when she this is a really funny part. When Luke Skywalker said, you start at dawn tomorrow morning, because R2-D2 confronted him from Leia from the episode 4 where Leia was
yeah. There's a part in the movie. The part she's talking about is when she sticks that disc in R2-D2, where she wanted Obi-Wan to find her, or to help her in episode 4. R2D he didn't want to train Rey, so R2-D2 played the that track back, and there's a lot of sentimental moments. I almost started crying in a couple of them with the Leia thing. Paige actually leaned over and said, "Don't cry." I said, "I'm going to try not to," because y'all know that Carrie Fisher passed away in real life. So she, there was a couple of moments in the movie where it was really emotional, I guess you could say. Yeah, it was the hologram thing. Yes, exactly, Heather. So they do that, and he goes, he said to R2-D2, there is no way I'm going to train you And R2-D2, he does his whole when he's mad thing. Bleep, 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 bleep. And Luke said, watch your language. So there's a bunch of funny stuff in the movie, but it was really good. So getting back to the point, he goes, why should I train her? And he plays the message of Leia, and he goes, that's a really
cheap move.
That's a cheap move. So he trains Rey. He gives her 2 lessons, and he says, this is why you should not become a Jedi. What did he say to her, though, Paige? What did he say to her when he...
You went way too far. You went down into...
No. The part before he starts training her. What did he say to her? Remember? When he's standing at the door, the Jedi must...
The Jedi must... That...
The Jedi must go away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was in the movie.
So then the first lesson, this is a really funny part. He has this piece of grass in his hand, weed, whatever, and Rey's trying to use the Force, and she literally reaches out, like, instead of going slow and using the Force, she literally just reaches out so fast, and then here comes the Skywalker shaking a piece of grass, and he's like, can you feel that, and whatever, and he slaps Rey's hand. It was hilarious.
Keep going.
And then she tried again. She actually used the Force. He's like, what do you see? Whatever. And he's like, what's all in between that? And Rey said, balance. And
Serge, I want to thank you for that. I'm sure she appreciates it. I think they just said you have a pretty good memory.
Not really, guys.
Well, actually, you do, because she said, I was critiquing her through this to just see if she would remember stuff.
Yeah.
She's remembering stuff from what we were talking about. So you're actually remembering more stuff than what you thought. So you're doing pretty good.
And then she goes way too far with the Force, and she goes, let go of me. And she goes way too far. She goes into the dark part of the Force. She goes into the dark part of the Force. And what happened was Luke, that's the reason why Luke didn't want to train her, because she went too far. And he's like, this is why you should have not been trained.
Okay. Keep going.
And then we get into where, and then we come into where Rey's sleeping in her bed in a house thing, and somehow Kylo Ren and Rey
the Force causes them to see each other, and they start discussing. And Rey is asking her why he is doing what he is doing, in a sense. And he's explaining, well, why not? He's just being Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is Kylo Ren in this movie. But yes, that's what that was, yep. Paige. Stop. You're being mean. Keep going.
And then Rey.
We're seeing what Jacelyn was doing when she was talking, because Paige is doing this, so Jace is copying her, which is okay. It's kind of funny. But go on. It's all right. Stop doing that, please.
And then what happened was Rey grabs her laser gun and shoots at the wall, and Kylo Ren can actually feel that she shot him. And the vision just went out. It stopped. And then
you are correct, Heather. As long as there are directors like J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson, this will never die. As long as they keep going with the stories that they're going with, and they stay with what they're doing, this will never die.
And then we get back to where Kylo Ren says, get my ship, because he was talking to Snoke, and he wanted to see the wound on Kylo Ren's face, and he's like, take that ridiculous thing off.
Oh, he goes, how is your Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm stepping over my bounds. See, she's remembering more than she thinks. Go ahead.
And what happened was he smashes his helmet and everything, and he's like, "Prepare my ship." And they're going over to Leia's cruiser.
Kylo Ren flips his shit in a sense. What he did is Snoke said, "How is your scar doing?" And he says it's doing okay. And then Snoke says, "Take off that ridiculous mask." So he takes off the mask, and then as he's taking the mask off, Snoke is like, whatever, and he kind of pisses him off, and he smashes his mask. So I don't think the mask is going to be used anymore. But we'll go into that further. Like I said, we'll answer questions as we go. I'll let her get back to what she's doing.
And then we come back to, I forgot one part. Dang it!
That's all right.
Back on the island, with Luke, and when he said,
"What's up, Ray Rock? Thanks for." They aren't my kids or my nieces, but thank you, brother.
Hey, Ray.
That's his name.
Oh, okay. I thought they were calling me Ray.
Try and keep an eye on the chat and say hi to people as they pop in.
Okay.
Just say their name, like "Hey, Truckster."
Okay.
Go ahead.
So then what happened was Chewie knocks down the door because Luke didn't want to train Rey. He knocks down the door and he's like, "Chewie, what are you doing here?" And then Rey's like, "The Resistance needs you. The
whole time that she was on the island, all she really wanted. She wanted Luke to teach her the ways of the Force, but she also wanted him to come back because they feel that Luke is the only person that can save the Resistance. So, come on, Gator. Well, you can't get in here. Come on.
Oh,
keep going over, right?
Oh, okay. And what happened was we get right in here, and Luke's like, "Where's Han?" And this is the emotional part where we realize that Luke is gonna be very, very like emotional.
What
and
are you talking about?
Where he says, "Where's Han?" and they tell him what happens.
So he asks where Han is, and he finds out that he's dead, that Kylo Ren killed him and all this stuff. And this is really when he says, "I don't want to do this anymore. I came here to die, blah, blah, blah. I need you to leave." So she leaves.
Yeah. Scary.
But isn't there something that you're missing? What about the Porgs? Remember the Porgs?
Oh, the Porgs.
So there's a part. I'm going to talk about this. There's a part in the movie. I don't know if anybody knows about the Porgs. They're new.
Get off me.
She's fine. There's a new species in the Star Wars. So the Porgs are, in a sense, this like miniature
owl kind of
like type deal thingy. They look like they're like a gerbil.
They're part gerbil, part penguin, part owl.
Okay, whatever. Sure. So there is a scene in there, and this was talked about, and people are making jokes about Chewie's gonna eat a porg and all this stuff. Well, there is a scene where Chewbacca actually did kill one. He didn't kill it. You don't see him kill it, but he's hungry, so he's gonna eat a porg. And he sees this porg like looking up at him with sad eyes. You know how a big puppy dog sad eyes? And the next thing you know, he can't eat the porg. He kind of befriends the porg. If you know Chewbacca, he's one of those Wookiees.
He's a Wookiee. Wookiee.
He's a Wookiee, so he was hungry. What can he say? So
he's Han's best friend. Let's just say that.
Well, everybody knows that, but go ahead.
And we get back to the part where okay. So we're getting to the part where Kylo Ren is getting on his ship, whatever, and they're going to Leia's cruiser. And
explain that. You explain that to me.
Kylo Ren wants to shoot the cruiser, but he senses Leia in there, so he doesn't shoot. But then here comes 2 other ships behind him, and they shoot towards where Leia is. And Leia just flies out.
They blow the bridge up that she's on, and she flies out of the ship. And she's floating in space.
And this is really surprising and also really cool. Leia, you see her hand move. She's all frozen. She's freezing, whatever. And then you see a hand move. And then we get back to the Star Battleships.
Well, you kind of jumped it. Okay, so Leia uses the Force big time in this movie, guys. Especially in this scene. She is essentially floating in space.
Oh. Chewie is a vegetarian now.
Chewie's the only character. My tarantula is called Chewie. Chewie's Heather says Chewie's a vegetarian. He might be. I don't know. Chewie is the only character it be in all 3 series, the prequels, the originals, and the new ones, which I love. I don't understand what that means, Trexter.
I'm kind of surprised Chewie is still alive.
Me too. I thought he might take a digger in this one, but he didn't. I'm gonna spoil that right now. So she kind of is jumping the gun here. You trying to put the lid back on?
Yeah.
So she kind of jump the gun. So they fired on the ship. So, and I had quizzed her on this. I said, why did the First Order keep following them? Well, what it is there's a speed of light tracker on these ships, and now the First Order is able to track their speed of light, or when they come out of speed of light.
And they have 1 more speed of light left, and they can't use it right now.
They can't use it, period.
Because then they'll just track them again because of the tracker.
Yep.
And then Rose has this idea. If you don't know who Rose is, she's this engineer kind of person. And her sister Paige died at the beginning of the movie where she was dropping those bombs.
Blew up a dreadnought.
Blew up the dreadnought, yep. And she says if we get a master code breaker, we could break the light speed tracker and break it, and then we could use our last fuel of the light speed and get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this big, huge shield around them and everything. And what happened was,
don't forget about R2-D2 and C-3PO. They're Trexters. They've been in all of them too.
Yep.
In fact, R2-D2 and C-3PO were in Rogue One too. So
that was awesome, though, too.
But back to the story.
And I lost my place.
You're at the part where they come out of the speed of light.
And so then Finn tells Poe the plan, and he's like, okay, let's do this. And they go to this planet. I don't even remember what the planet is.
You skipped the part, though. You skipped the part. What happened after Leia got knocked out of the... she came back.
She used the Force. It was actually
she used the Force. She used the Force to come back onto the ship. She came back onto the ship.
And she was unconscious. And then,
so what happened was, and this is the part where
General
Hodo,
yeah, took over for her, and she has this plan, and she's getting all these little ships ready to evacuate the cruiser, and let's just say Poe goes AWOL. Let's just say that.
Pogo is AWOL.
Poe goes AWOL.
Who's Pogo?
Poe. I said Poe.
Poe doesn't go AWOL. He puts up a mutiny.
He gets really mad, throws stuff around because he doesn't want to evacuate the cruiser.
Correct. He's right.
He wants to stand up and fight to him and end this.
Poe is one of those guys. He's like Leia when she was younger. She's hard-headed. She won't go. If you remember in The Empire Strikes Back, and trust me, this was not a rehash, guys. Everybody that says it's a rehash is on fucking dope. This is a completely different movie. Completely different. It's not what you think. It's really, 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 really good. In fact, I think it's one of the best movies. You guys drink the same clear American waters I do? Yes, we do.
Should have gone to
That's from Spaceballs. He's being funny.
Oh,
it's all right. Good one, Serge. What?
There's chewing on your blankets.
Yeah, I know he does that.
And then we get to the part where Rey and Kylo Ren.
Rey goes to the ship, right?
Yeah.
So there's a part, we kind of missed a part. There's a part where Snoke is introduced. And it's like just a little bit into the movie, like a half hour or 45 minutes in the movie. Snoke is introduced into the movie. And what happens is Snoke. What did I do? What did I say?
Oh, cast a monkey.
Come in. Here comes my other niece. Gotta go this way though. So
she's gonna be getting on the background here soon.
Where was I at?
I
don't care about the language. That's gone out the window.
About Snoke.
Oh, so they introduced Snoke. You're right. I don't count the words. So. Oh no, I know. I tried not to say it. I realized what I said, but thanks anyway, man. If I say it, I say it. I say it. I say it. Just I don't want anybody just being like I'm not going to say the other words that I say. I promise. So Snoke is introduced into this movie, and he's not a hologram. He's an actual person. I still think he's CGI though, to be honest with you. But he did really good detail on him. He looked like he was a real person. So they did the Hux is standing there talking to, hey, you got to keep it down. Hux is standing there talking to Supreme Leader Snoke, and Supreme Leader Snoke is like, so he takes, he smashes his face, he uses the Force, and Snoke is pretty powerful. Like, he's very powerful. He takes Hux and slams him to the ground. He comes up with a busted lip, and because they got away, the Resistance gets away again.
As usual.
And so he leaves, and then Kylo Ren comes in, and he does the same. This is
Kylo's parents.
Kind of tragic that the movies have lost both of Kylo's parents, Han in fiction, Leia in reality. Yes, you are correct. So back to the Kylo Ren thing. Kylo Ren comes in, and he kind of does the same thing. He kind of ridicules Kylo Ren. He asks him how his scar is. If you remember, Rey kind of slashed him pretty good there at the end of Force Awakens. And Kylo Ren kind of...
doesn't make sense that his scar was black, though. Like, what was...
it was nano things. It was nano stuff.
Okay.
So, Kylo... So Supreme Leader Snoke kind of ridicules him, says, take that ridiculous mask off. And the next thing you know, Kylo Ren kind of gets upset. Doesn't he like use the Force on Kylo Ren, like slams him around and shit?
He tries to use the Force on Snoke, and then Snoke electrifies him, and then he flies back.
Yep. So then he gets pissed off, and it takes and starts smashing his helmet, and it turns out that he probably won't have that helmet no more. Where's my... So going on,
and I forgot where I was.
After that.
Oh, now I know where I was. We're back to the island. Rey and Kylo Ren come back together. Vision, whatever, thingy, whatever. And Rey wants to turn Kylo Ren to the good side because she still thinks there's conflict in him. You're
jumping way ahead of yourself. Is she on? She's not on there yet. They had an intro. I went back. Okay, so now you're to the point where they all go to the ship, right? To Snoke's ship.
Yeah.
So they have to go to get this code breaker, and there's a part in the movie where they go to this place, and I'm trying to find the name of it right now.
Where there's pod racer things.
No, they're not pod racers. They have like horse racing things, and I can't remember the name of the animals. They introduce new animals into the movie.
They introduce ice fox. These little things.
Oh, there's something that we also missed when Rey was on Atu with Luke, when Kylo Ren and Rey can see each other. They can sit there and talk to each other, and she keeps asking, why did you do what you did? And Kylo Ren says that Luke Skywalker tried to kill him. So Rey had asked what happened to Luke, and Luke explained. Luke said that I can't remember what he said.
He's seen his future evilness and whatever.
Okay, yeah. So there was a line.
That's like way up towards the end though, where he tells the
Sure?
truth. Yeah, where they have that lightsaber fight and whatever, where Rey grabs the lightsaber instead of her staff, and he falls back, uses the Force to catch himself. And then he tells the truth.
Did I fall asleep in that? I don't remember that. I didn't sleep through that movie. I must not have been paying attention. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Paige. Go on.
Okay. Sorry if I skip off. I'm just gonna say what
we seen it yesterday. We seen it last night, man. Seen it in 3D actually.
3D part was actually awesome. That was my first.
Well, the whole movie was in 3D, Paige.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
Sorry.
Godzilla and King Kong.
What did he say?
Played by the guy.
Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis. Yes, I know. He did a really good job. So go on.
And that was actually my first time seeing a Star Wars movie in 3D.
Okay, so yeah. But...
Okay. I just wanted to say that. So, so we're. You keep making me.
You're to the point where Rey is.
Seeing Kylo Ren again.
Yes.
And Luke comes in.
That's when she asks what happened. And Kylo Ren tells her that Luke tried to kill him.
Murder him.
Yes, there you go.
Did you guys see Star Wars? How was it? It was really good. Again, my favorite part was when Luke threw the lightsaber across his shoulder. So,
Shh. Sorry, I have a loud child in here.
Very loud. And so Luke comes in to Rey's dorm room, sees Kylo Ren, and he uses the Force, and he literally screams, "Stop!" And her whole entire hut falls down.
It's all right. Keep going. Just keep going.
And
I believe you.
And Rey grabs her staff. He starts fighting Luke. Luke grabs something else.
I know where you're at. I got you. Keep going. You're doing great.
And Luke throws Rey's staff out of the way. She uses the Force to grab the lightsaber, turns it on, and Luke literally falls, but then he catches himself with his Force. And Rey is like, tell the truth. What really happened? And Luke tells the truth about he's seen evilness in him.
Supreme Leader Snoke was manipulating him, and they didn't really go into how he was manipulating him, but he was manipulating him. So when he manipulated him, he had to do something.
He grabbed out his lightsaber, whatever, and he was about to hit Kylo Ren until he used his Force.
He was about to strike him down.
Strike him down. And he used his Force, grabbed his lightsaber, blocked him, and then he crushed the whole entire hut down.
He crushed the entire hut, and he destroyed. That's the night he destroyed the. He defeated Luke in a sense.
Yeah, and I forgot one part.
Go ahead.
And why are you watching me?
I'm not. I'm watching the chat.
Oh, and what happens is, forgot one part. Dang it. Girl.
Thanks, Killdozer. Appreciate it. You can come back and watch the rest of it. And then we'll have Q&A. If you ever guys have a question for me about Star Wars, just ask it. Star Wars. Ask it to me in the ask it to me in the Twitter chat. I'll answer it. I have no problems doing that. Go ahead. Go. Come on.
And then Luke tells the truth. He's seen evilness in him. He wanted to stop it.
He couldn't.
But he couldn't. So then he went to the island for a reason because he failed him.
He went to the island to die.
Yeah. But really, way before that, when Rey was doing her first...
You have got to be quiet.
When Rey was doing her first lesson, he's like, Rey's like, Kylo Ren failed you. You didn't fail him. Kylo Ren failed you. And she's like, but I won't.
There you go.
And then that's what really started getting me there. Like, what's going on? What's gonna happen here? This is confusing me.
Okay, what are you talking about? If you're confused
Like,
about something, what confused you?
Like when she said, but I won't.
What she's saying, Paige, is that she is telling Luke Skywalker that she will not fail him.
Stop it.
She will not fail him.
Stop it, Jace.
Focus on what you're doing. I got this. Stop or you can get out. Then stop. All right, go ahead.
Then
Sorry, guys.
Get to the part where...
Well, you're to here. This is where you're at right here. So you get differing accounts. So Rey unable to convince Luke to join. She was unable to convince Luke to join the Resistance. So Rey says, "Okay, fine," and leaves Ahch-To without him. She goes to confront Kylo Ren. Then this is where big time surprise happens. One of the characters.
And it's surprising too.
Well, that's what I mean. It's one of the characters from the previous. Well, I will clip that one, Chauncey.
Did you like Star Wars? Actually, yes, I do like Star Wars.
She did. She liked it.
I do like Star Wars too.
There's a big surprise in this movie. It's a character that you would not think was going to show up, even though I kind of figured that he was going to come back somewhere. But where? I do not know. And that character was? What character came back and talked to Luke?
Oh, Yoda.
Yep, Yoda came back and talked to Luke because Luke was going to destroy the
textbooks.
The textbooks. They were textbooks. They were right on that. And this tree. Because Ahch-To is where the Jedi Council used to be. So
Yoda blows the whole thing up.
But you jumped ahead of yourself. Luke could not do it. So little does everyone. I'm going to tell you, there's a little Easter egg. I missed it. There's a little Easter egg. I missed it. Rey took the texts. So Yoda knew this because, of course, he's a Force ghost, so he can see everything. And he blows it up. Yoda blows it up. He catches it on fire.
He laughs.
And he laughs about it. You remember how he was in Empire Strikes Back? Like I said, they do go back to the previous the original episodes for some stuff. But trust me, it's not a rehash.
But what I was really mad about is I wanted Anakin Skywalker to come back as a Force ghost and talk to Luke.
That's not to say that he won't. They have another episode to do. But that's a whole nother...
I know. But I wanted him to come up in this episode and talk to Luke.
No, I did not. I don't watch pro football, Chauncey. I'm not talking about football right now. I'm doing a Star Wars review. Sorry. Don't get mad. So what did Yoda tell? I'm asking her questions so that she can remember. What did Yoda tell Luke?
Failure is how you become a teacher.
Failure makes you a better teacher is in a sense what he says. But he says it in the Yoda wisdom that he does. So we move on from there.
we get to where Kylo Ren grabs Rey, like he did last.
Well,
episode.
Rey went onto the ship herself. Rey got onto the ship herself. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going.
And
You're good.
what happened was he. I'm getting confused.
They handcuff Rey and they take her to Supreme Leader Snoke.
And
there's another surprise coming, I'm telling you. Keep going.
He uses the Force, brings her over, and takes Luke Skywalker's lightsaber out of her hand and sets it right next to him. And pushes her back, and he's using his Force to get answers from Rey.
As to where Luke Skywalker is.
Yep. And then oh God.
You're fine, keep going.
He brings her to Kylo Ren, turns her around towards Kylo Ren, and Snoke tells Kylo Ren, kill her. And this is the part where he grabs his lightsaber, but he doesn't really kill Rey, actually.
He picks up what she's saying is he picks up his lightsaber. Does he ignite it?
No,
he doesn't. Okay, so he has Darth Vader's lightsaber Rey's lightsaber is sitting right there next to Snoke. And it's turned to where the hilt is
gonna cut him in half.
Hint, hint. So what happens is instead of killing Rey, he ignites the lightsaber and it goes right through Snoke. So Snoke really has nothing to do with this movie, to be honest with you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's nothing. He's nobody. He's just a supreme leader. They don't even go to where he came from, anything like that.
You is a good brother still.
Oh, mad at me? I know you weren't mad. I'm just letting you know, brother. So they kill Snoke. Snoke's dead. Bottom line, dead, gone. Does not exist anymore. Well, he does, but he's in half. So then the guards, they both Rey, and this is that glimmer of hope that I thought, oh, what the hell is going on? Is he going to turn good or what? So they fight off the guards that are there guarding Snoke.
This is what was really surprising to me because they were working together. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yep, I thought Kylo Ren was going to turn over to the light side again. Now, Rey did say that you don't have to do this. And then he's like, again, if you remember in the Force Awakens, Kylo Ren says, I can teach you the ways of the Force. Kind of does the same thing. He says, join me. Because Kylo Ren just he doesn't want anything to do with the Jedi. He doesn't want anything to do with the Sith.
He wants everything to be gone. And long story short,
he just wants to rule things. So in a sense, he wants to be a Sith, but he doesn't want to have
long story short, he wants Rey to be his apprentice.
Right. Okay, go on.
And he brings out his hand and saying, will you join me? And Rey puts out her hand, and he doesn't know that she's going to trick him. So she uses the Force to grab the lightsaber, and so does Kylo Ren. They use too much of the Force, and Luke Skywalker's lightsaber breaks in half.
They did, Heather, but I doubt he has any light left in him at all. I think that story is gone. So we're coming to that, though. So go on.
And then
you're at the part where the
lightsaber broke, yeah.
So they're trying to fight. They start fighting over the lightsaber, and they start using the Force, and both of them are so strong. I mean, and for a moment there, I thought, fuck, I think they're brother and sister for a second, but they're not. So don't.
And then
go on.
And then
So the lightsaber, Darth Vader's lightsaber breaks in half.
no,
Yes, it did.
no, that's Luke's. It was.
No, it was Darth Vader's that Luke had in episode 4, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Luke has his own lightsaber, and it is green, by the way. Go on.
I thought it was blue, but okay.
Turn it off! Hold on a second, guys. Hayden, shut it off. Give me a second, guys. You're ruining my fucking review. I got earplugs here. Use them. Use them. Get over here.
Don't use them without the thing.
I have. Where did you put the thingies? Oh, they're right here. Sorry about that, guys. Go on. Go on. Go on.
No, I left off. No, I don't know where I left off.
Sorry about that, guys. Go on. I'll catch you up. So you're at the part where they fought over the lightsaber.
Broke in half.
Mm-hmm. Rey escapes while the First Order is distracted by the battle. Kylo declares himself the new Supreme Leader. Meanwhile, Leia, having recovered, Poe has now put a mutiny on the ship that this Admiral Holdo had decided to. I'm kind of thinking they are too, but I don't think they're related in the way you think they are, Heather. I really don't, and I'll explain that when I tell you what I thought. So Holdo, who's the Vice Admiral, she's trying to
let people evacuate off.
She wants people to get off the main ship so that she can get the hell out of there. Well, Princess Leia recovers from her injuries and she stuns Poe.
Which is hilarious.
It is kind of funny. And then Holdo, this is where, because I'm sorry, not Kylo. I keep calling Poe Kylo Ren. Poe tells, Poe thinks that this Vice Admiral Holdo is not a good guy. She thinks she's a traitor, he calls her. And so Leia stuns him, and in a sense, like I said, she said, just like me, he is stubborn. So she's trying to develop him into a leader. So he does a pretty good job, but he kind of has that Han Solo-ish brash, I'm going to do it the way I'm going to do it, and this is how it should be done, and that's the way it's going to be.
Tattooed Mistress says, I don't think she's Luke's kid,
no,
however.
She's not. Nope, I don't think that's what I mean either. I'll explain what I think.
I'm thinking cousins are.
I know, yeah. We'll get into that, though. So that's where she's at with this. The movie is almost over by this time. So they get this I'm right here. So they go to Canto Bight is the name of the fucking world. I just swore again, sorry.
Watch your language.
So Leia recovers from her injuries, and you suck. All right. Leia recovers from her injuries, and
Poe gets stunned.
They can't get away, so they're all like, you know what? I can't remember what was the reason they were gonna try to do.
They're gonna try to break the tracker. So then
they couldn't do it, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm just gonna. This Vice Admiral Holdo decides to stay on the ship, and a dreadnought is chasing them down. They start destroying all the transports, and they're trying to get to this planet called Crate. And they get to the planet, or they take off, they get away, and they're focusing all of their energy on the transports. But then the transports, Vice Admiral Holdo's like, all right, I got this. So she turns the big cruise ship around. She's like, I got this. So she turns it around. She puts that son of a bitch at light speed, and she destroys the dreadnought. They make it to Crate. However, this is where
not all of them make it.
I know that, Paige. I already explained that. Where let me find where I was here. So they evacuate. Holdo sacrifices herself by ramming into Snoke's flagship at light speed and stops the barrage while ripping Snoke's command vessel into two and damaging many First Order vessels. BB-8 frees Rose and Finn, who was captured by Captain Phasma, and they fight in this movie and they get off of the ship now. They're getting off the ship. Captain Phasma's in the movie, but she dies. She dies in the movie too, just to let everybody know. So the way she went out was just not very cool at all. Just not cool at all. So then we go on, and when the First Order arrives, Poe, Finn, Rose lead the charge. So they're on Crate. Now we're going to get to Crate because we're almost done with this. The movie's almost over. We get to Crate. Crate, they're sitting there. They're fighting over the getting ready to do a standoff, kind of Empire Strikes Back-ish, kind of like. No, not everybody dies. I think not everybody dies.
Yeah.
Not even close. So we get to the point where Kylo is now a supreme leader, and he comes down there. They know there's this DJ guy that played by Benicio del Toro. He really didn't have a factor in the movie. He's the only reason they used him was to get him onto the Snoke ship. That was pretty much the end of seeing him. He's like gives away his secrets. He's like a thief, kind of like. So they pay him off to tell him where they're going or what's going on. So they go to Crate. So the First Order follows him to Crate. And yeah, I know it does seem that way, but it's honestly not. And I'll go into it. So they go on and they have this big cannon that's like the Death Star type deal. And it's going to destroy where the resistance is going to go. So Poe, Finn, and Rose decide to lead a battle with these speeders, but they suffer heavy losses. Then Rey arrives in the Millennium Falcon and leads away the fighters, and because Kylo Ren is so angry that he wants to destroy anything that has to do with his dad. So we're going to get to that part where she leads him away, and it blasts the hole. The cannon blasts the hole into the center of the resistance forces, and then who appears?
Luke. Yeah, Luke as a Force ghost. Let's just say that.
Well, you shouldn't have said that. But so what happens is Luke shows up, and he's like, he tells Princess Leia he's got to confront him alone. Leia goes, yes, I know. I can't change him. There's nothing we can do. He has to be destroyed. So, hey, Drew, thanks for showing up, brother. So Kylo Ren is now, he's lost. So in a sense, and there's really, if anybody remembers any of the movies, there was a part where Princess Leia would change her hair, and they had a little interaction between them two, and this is the only time that they're in the movie together. So they're sitting there, and she goes, Luke, and she goes, Leia. And he said something to the effect of, or she said something to the effect of something, and he goes, What did you think I was going to say? Or what did you think I was going to ask you? Or something like that, right? Luke was going to ask that?
That I changed my hair.
Oh, yeah. So Leia goes, I thought you were going to ask me if I changed my hair. And it was a really sentimental moment. It was another one of those moments that almost made me cry again. So Luke appears and confronts Kylo alone, giving the surviving Resistance fighters time to escape. So Luke Skywalker goes out to confront Kylo Ren, and he's standing there and he's up against all these ATSTs and all that stuff. And he's sitting there, and Kylo Ren says, "Focus all your energy on him. I want every gun on him." So they start shooting at him like crazy, right?
Red just flies up everywhere, thinking that he blew up. Everyone thinks that he blew up, whatever. And
it comes out that it didn't destroy him. So he comes out. So Kylo Ren says stop, and he gets out, and he goes and he confronts him, and they have a confrontation. But in this movie, lightsabers never cross, except for the scene with Luke and Kylo in the flashback. So go ahead.
And this was hilarious. And he's like, "I'm sorry, I failed you." And he's like,
I'm sure you
are.
Yep. The Kylo Ren. So Luke looks at him in the calm demeanor that he has, and he goes, "I'm sorry, I failed you."
And he's like, "I'm sure you are." Whatever, you know.
Yep. And so Kylo Ren goes, "I'm sure you are." And so Kylo Ren starts to go fight him, and he misses.
As usual.
Luke made him look like a little boy. So the next thing you know, Kylo Ren comes running at him. Isn't he like got his back turned to him? Yeah, he does. He's got his back turned to him, and Kylo Ren comes up and cuts him in half, and you think Luke is dead, and he's not. He's a Force ghost.
He's using all of his force.
Yep, Kylo Ren walked up to him, and as he's walking up to him, it goes to this, where Luke really is. He's still on Octu. And he is sitting with his legs crossed on this rock. And when you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about, because that rock is where he puts Rey when he's asking her about can you feel it? Can you feel it with the grass? It's freaking hilarious. So he goes, Kylo Ren walks up to him, and he walks up to him with his lightsaber and puts it through him, and he realizes at this moment, he is sitting there, and Luke Skywalker is like fighting this off because he can feel it, but he is so strong in the Force that, think about this, the guy is in two places at once. He has a ghost of himself at Crate, and he is physically sitting on this planet. Well, at this time, Kylo Ren says, "I will not something," or no, Kylo Ren said something. I can't remember what it was. And he goes, "I will always be here." And he goes, but he doesn't say it the way you think he does. He says it the way that "I'll see you around, kid," is what he says. So then...
And he literally screams, "No!" Whatever, because he failed.
Yes, he loses again. Kylo Ren loses again, and now he is completely gone. Then it goes back to Luke, and they're sitting at the... he's sitting there on that rock, and he had used so much of the Force that he is now just...
One with the Force.
Pretty much one with the Force, guys. So what happens is, if you remember how, I wouldn't say Yoda died, or how Obi-Wan Kenobi died.
He just disappeared.
He just disappeared. So in a sense, he became one with the Force. So Luke really is not dead. You can call it what you will, but Luke is not dead. He just became one with the Force. He is now a Force ghost.
And then his cloak falls.
His cloak falls. And it's the two sons. Yep, the two sons. Remember the two sons when in episode 4 when he's standing on that dune and he's looking out and he sees the two sons. So, yep, so Luke Skywalker officially not really dead, but
became one with the Force.
Became one with the Force, much like his father, much like Anakin Skywalker, much like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and much like Yoda and Qui-Gon Jinn. So,
Qui-Gon Jinn.
If you remember in episode 1, Qui-Gon Jinn, so Kylo lost and was broken. Oh, he was broken a long time ago, man.
So Kylo lost and
that's fine, man.
Yeah.
He's broken. You're right. He is broken. So that's pretty much the end of the movie. Oh, there's the last part, which was probably my favorite part of the whole movie.
Where this little kid...
No, you got to talk. So Rey asked the question. Remember? Rey asked, I think it's Rey, or I can't remember. It might have been somebody else.
Luke's
they asked the question.
Now, what do we do?
Yes, Luke is gone. What do we do? Yes, exactly, Heather. He put himself in purgatory. So he exists in a plane. He's like Yoda. He's exactly like Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. He didn't really put himself, I wouldn't say purgatory, but he put himself like in between the living and the dead.
Just not the dead, the actual dead, like Anakin, like when he died. But
yes, but he became a Force ghost. So, they ask where, and it's right. I got it right here. This is the end of the movie.
Luke's gone. What do we do?
Luke then peacefully dies, and they say dies, but I don't think he's not dead, and becomes one with the Force. The remaining Resistance fighters escape aboard the Falcon. Leia reassures everyone that the rebellion has all they needed to rise again, and they go to Rey. So Rey is now everything that the Resistance needs, the rebellion needs. That doesn't mean that Rey is going to be the only one to defeat. It's everybody around them because they're one team.
Basically, Rey is the Force now. She's all Force.
And I'm going to go into that here on what I think, and then I'll open it up to y'all for questions. The end of the show, that goes back to Canto Bight. At the end of the movie, there was a child that helped Finn and Rose escape from Canto Bight, from the Resistance, was it? Yeah. No, from the First Order. Mm-hmm. They grab a broom. He grabs a broom with the Force and gazes up into space, and that was the end of the movie.
And then the credits, but you wanted me to sit down and watch it.
I wanted to, because I you know how some movies they might do a whole little quick scene.
In memory of.
Oh, and they did the In Memory of Carrie Fisher, which was really, I almost lost it again. Sorry, guys. I just loved Carrie Fisher. She was one of my favorite actresses. The whole movie in itself.
He's one with the Speed Force.
He's one with sure.
Oh God, could you imagine Joker infused Force Ghost?
I could. So to your question, Heather, where you think that Rey and Kylo Ren are related, I honestly think that they are.
They could be.
But here is how. I think that they are, because if you remember when in episode 1 Qui-Gon Jinn asked Anakin's mother, Shmi, who is the father? And she looked at him and said he didn't have one. Immaculate Conception.
Then how, that doesn't make sense. Then
Sure
how
does.
Was it, then how was there an Anakin Skywalker then, huh?
Immaculate Conception.
What? Oh, isn't it like the Force thingy that made him come the life thing?
The Metachlorians, yes.
Yeah, there we go.
So, yeah. That is true. If Drew's singing the song, it's a movie.
Me again. Whoa.
So, Heather, to your sense, I think both of them are related because they have that kind of, I want to say, not gene to so much say. If you've ever heard them say that metachlorians are the reason that we relate to metachlorians, in the movie, that's how metachlorians, they're all related. So yes, they are all related, but they do explain who Rey's parents are. I forgot to go over that real quick.
But they didn't show it.
They didn't show her parents. They showed her in a mirror.
Okay.
So
see, because I was covering my face for that because I thought there was gonna be a scary part coming up on it, like.
Nope. You see two shadows walking up to the other side of this mirror, but then it shows up and it's Rey, and that's it. Yeah, exactly, Heather. I'm not disagreeing. You're right. That's why I agreed with you. They are kind of like cousins. They might be brother and sister. I don't know, but I don't know. We'll find out. I'm hoping we'll find out in episode 9. They didn't really explain it, but you will find out where she comes from. But they, in a sense, they said Kylo Ren said that she was the parents of a junk traders. And they were alcoholics, and they sold her to
for drink money.
So that's where that's going. That's what I think. Now we will open it up to you guys for any questions. You can ask Paige any question.
Luke to future Jedi. Wait till
they get a load of me in Nicholson's voice. It's a joke. So I'll open it up to questions. Anything that you may have, if you want to ask Paige questions, this is really about her. You're correct. I don't think they're related somehow, though. I do believe, Heather. I don't know how. I will open it to questions. I will take any question. There is one comment that I seen that I would like to make pot of. It says,
"It's great when new generations."
And I think that was you, Serge, that said that. It said it's great when new generations like the stuff we did when we were young. And yes, it is. And I introduced her to it 2 years ago.
Huh?
2 years ago, I introduced you to Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
She, if I remember, I told you guys, I don't kind of. If you were hold on. If you were
The Force Awakens, Last Jedi is probably the best out of Force Awakens.
Okay, it's probably the best Star Wars movie of this trilogy. If you were a first-time Star Wars watcher, would you watch Episode 4 first or Episode 1 first?
I'm gonna guess 1.
Why?
Because really, you get to see what happens.
You want me to talk about? You want us to talk? She's only in the movie for like 20 minutes, dude. She dies. She's dead. She has no impact on the movie whatsoever. Did you prefer this one over The Force Awakens?
Yeah, I preferred this one.
I did too.
And they also said that it's supposed to be better than Episode 5.
And I agreed. I think it was. So back to the question: why would you watch Episode 1 first?
Because Qui-Gon Jinn is in it, and I think Qui-Gon Jinn is my favorite character in Episode 1. So I'm just gonna go with that.
Okay, you just think Episode 1.
And then Episode 4 was more confusing.
But what is the way that I taught you to watch it?
4 through 6, and then 1 through 3, because he's like, I don't know why they made it that way.
Oh no, I know why they did it. So George Lucas could make money off of it, and it worked. So the reason why they did 4, 5, and 6 first is they wanted to tell the story of Luke Skywalker, which is fine.
My second favorite character is the purple-haired lady.
Vice Admiral Holdo. Yeah, she had a little bit of a significance in the movie, but not really.
Are they leading towards the New Republic?
No.
I don't.
It's no. You might. I don't think so.
Okay, back to you about the order of the movies.
Okay, so 4, 5, and 6. So 4, 5, and 6, you need to watch them first, or else
it's gonna get confusing.
Not really. So 4, 5, and 6
are just about Luke and Leia.
They're about it's about Luke and Darth Vader. But then the whole question is, this is why George Lucas did it. So Darth Vader, and everybody's like, why is everybody so invested in this Darth Vader character?
Darth Vader's
And
awesome.
Drew said thank you. So you say you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
She says you're welcome. So he made 1, 2, and 3 so that they could tell the story of Darth Vader. That's why they did that.
And then in episode 1 through 3 is all about Anakin Skywalker.
Or else otherwise you're going to be like Bobbit and think episode 1 was the best one ever. And I know why Bobbit thinks it is the best one ever. It's because he loves Darth Maul, which I like Darth Maul too.
But
Oh, by the way, everybody,
favorite.
the girl in the background laying in between us, that's my niece Hayden. She was the one that I got mad at a little early. Which character would you be, Paige? Which character?
You too.
I will. You go first.
Anakin, because he's a Jedi Knight and he has a lot more force than Luke does.
He has a lot more. What?
He has a lot more force than what Luke did.
No.
Yeah, in episode 3. Yeah,
No. No.
Anakin, then.
Drew gave you a thumbs up. That means thank you. Again.
You're welcome.
Me? Who's my favorite character?
Darth Maul!
What character would I want to be?
No, who's that guy that you were talking about that's like way before Yoda and whatever?
Darth Revan. It's just too bad that he's not canon yet. And the reason I say that is if anybody knows the story of Darth Revan, it is epic.
Epic.
Because he started out as a Jedi, and then he went bad again, kind of along the same lines of Darth Vader, to be honest with you. He became Darth Revan, the leader of the Sith, and then switched over to the good guys again. That's why I think Darth Revan. Now, if I was to pick canon, Darth Bane, because he created the rule. Darth Bane.
Who the heck is that?
I'm going into it. He created the rule of 2.
What the heck is the rule? What?
Do I have to explain this to you again? I've explained this to you.
What's the rule of 2?
I'll explain it to her later.
Okay.
The Force is too strong with her. Good or dark, though. She's more likely to go to the dark side, I think. Who's that?
Is it Rey?
Hey, N333, you don't know what you're freaking talking about, you moron.
Who? What?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
You're an idiot. The Force is strong with her. Who are you talking about? Search.
I call your name, but you're not around.
Oh, so the Force is strong with you.
Oh.
Because good or dark with her, good or dark though, she's more likely to go to the dark side. I think. So you think she's a bad guy?
Hey.
At times in real life she can be.
Yay.
She's a good kid though.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Don't say that.
Not school. No.
Yeah, I ain't too worried about that. We'll get that. We'll figure that out. No, she's a good kid, man. She's a really good kid.
Yeah, here. Got it, Moms.
Whatever. Are there any more questions? We're here.
Stop it.
Stop doing that.
What?
Right, she's waiting for questions.
Yeah.
Oh, she did say the I see what you're saying. Gotcha, Serge. She did identify with Anakin. That is why he said that.
What?
He said right here. Serge asked the question. The Force is strong with her, good or dark though. She's more likely to go to the dark side, I think. And you did say that you identified with Anakin.
Favorite droid.
Favorite droid.
I honestly don't know because BB-8's really funny, but also R2-D2 is too. So I honestly don't know. I'm just gonna say both.
That's fine. She likes both of them. My favorite one is C-3PO because he acts like a freaking dork. But he's funny about it. That's okay, Drew. You can ask anything.
Star Wars,
I mean,
so don't.
he's saying he's never really seen it. You should watch it, man. It's a really good story. Believe it or not.
The best one, but my best two favorites are the third episode, and then it goes to Last Jedi.
So I'm gonna rank mine. You want to? Well, I'm gonna rank mine. She loves episode 3. Well, I liked episode 3. That's like my 4th favorite. But now,
boys.
this is gonna surprise many people. I really liked episode 8. I think.
Did you know Prince William and Kate Middleton were in the movie?
Yes, I did know that. They were stormtroopers.
Oh, okay.
So, the episode 8 is the best one so far because it's Star Wars, but it's totally.
Sorry to see you in a bit, Heather.
Yeah, Heather, I'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. You'll be better. And don't forget tomorrow, Heather, I'm doing the pay-per-view. So if you want to, I do live reaction.
No, what's wrong with her?
She's not feeling good. She's got a sore throat.
Oh, okay.
So I'll see you tomorrow, Heather, or I'll see you later. Get better, and I love you.
Yeah.
So, eight's my favorite, but right behind it is episode 5. Then I love episode 4. Then episode 3. Episode 6. Episode 2. Episode 1, and then episode 2.
And then 7.
But
7.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Episode 7's 3rd, and then or 4th. I mean episode. Yeah. But the best, if I was to rank all 9, Rogue One would be number 2. To be honest with you.
Serge says mine is R2-D2 for his favorite droid.
Yep, I love R2-D2. He brings comedy. So in a sense, guys, to summarize, I mean, it was a really funny movie, but it had some really. I think you have Paige.
What the heck is?
We'll watch it. It's funny. It's like Star Wars, but it's not. It's funny. It's a good movie.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
Okay.
So she hasn't seen it, but I will let her see it. It's funny. But in a sense, guys, it's a really good movie. I don't believe it's what you make of it. I have been a Star Wars fan ever since it came out. I know what I'm talking about. These critics, some of these casual fans love the movie, but then you ask them about episode 4 and they don't like the movie. It's because they don't fucking get it. But they're mostly talking about the prequels, and they're going off of what Hollywood says, and Hollywood does not know what the fuck they're talking about.
And when we were gonna watch before Rogue One came out, before we were gonna go to the theaters and watch it, you said that we were gonna watch the whole entire series before Rogue One came out, but we never did that. So I just did it on my own. I watched 1 through 3, and then.
Oh
yeah.
She'll sit and watch all the movies. I've got them here on DVD. She'll sit and watch the movies. I have no problem with. I've seen them all 1,000 times. So, but yeah,
they are combining.
They're combing the desert. That is in. It's funny movie.
John Kennedy's character, right?
Candy's character. It's Spaceballs, honey.
Okay.
You haven't seen it. It's okay. They're just quoting movies from Spaceballs. It's all right. So, guys, I'm going to get off of here. This is her first time doing this. I hope you guys like watching this. Please comment below. Please subscribe. I would give you her channel, but
it won't come up.
Well, it'll come up, but you guys are...
I did a thing about where I was talking about Star Wars when I seen it.
If I knew how to merge some of the stuff, I would do it. Oh, you're all right, Drew. It's okay.
All you gotta type in is Paige E. Baker Last Jedi movie, I think.
If I could link it to mine, I would. But when she gets a little older, check her out. Well, actually, I would give her...
Let me check. Where's my phone?
I don't know. I think what's your...
Paige E. Baker.
Hold on.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna subscribe to her, and I'm gonna send the link to her. She did a review all on her own. It's quite impressive, to be honest with you guys.
Capital E. Last Jedi. Like, right there.
Let's see. Hold on a second. Just give me a second, guys. I'm gonna link it to the chat. So thanks, Adam. I appreciate it. This is her first time doing this. She thinks she said you did great. He said you did a great job. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Great. Just go check her out. It was pretty cool. But you gotta keep in mind
she was awesome. Thank you.
Let's keep this in mind, guys. You know, she's only 13, so she's not going to be putting out content that you want to see. She's not into wrestling like I am. She's into Star Wars, though. But, are you?
WWE, I am, but not any other stuff.
Okay. Well, she's into WWE. Well, I suppose I could explain that stuff to her too. Look at that. Look at me go.
My favorite WWE wrestler is The Rock.
So. What I'll do is I'll put the link in the chat, and you guys go and watch her video, the little, I think it's like 30-second video that she did. I appreciate you guys saying that she was awesome. She appreciates it. This gives her confidence to do more stuff. They're talking about what I was talking about.
Okay.
But no, she actually is into it, and I told her I don't want her watching my stuff because I get pretty abrasive. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Not going to anyway.
Whatever. You better not let your mom hear it.
Oh no. I don't even talk about you at mom's stuff.
Okay. So here's a question for you, Paige. Since we want to talk about quick wrestling, who's your favorite wrestler?
The Rock.
See? At least she picks out a good one. If you were to pick a wrestler, if The Rock never existed, who would you pick?
Cena.
See, she likes Cena. I like Cena too, but why do you like Cena?
Because he's #1 strongest wrestler.
I've got to teach her the ways of the Force, guys. I'll teach her. She should say Shinsuke Nakamura, but she won't. Or AJ Styles, but she won't. So, and I'm okay with that. But what I'll do is I'll put that link in the chat and in our chat there, and you guys can check out her video. I greatly appreciate it. And you know what? I'm going to take a hiatus until tomorrow.
Oh, well.
I love you guys. Peace. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Let's get this up to